Hi guys. So in this video, I will try to give some helpful tips on how to meditate. Um, in my one of my other videos, I went into kind of why you should meditate and the benefits of that, and why it can change you in your life, right? And go. I went into how it does that, right? But for the purpose of this video, just how to meditate, right? I'm gonna try to give you some pointers um, because easier said than done. Like at the beginning, when you start meditating, it's it's a lot harder than one might think, right? Your mind is constantly wandering, and you're sitting there, right? Yeah, in a quiet room, let's say, right? Because that's kind of like how most people do it. Maybe you take some deep breaths, right? And then you try to clear your mind of everything going on around you. Well, that's easier said than done, right? You start meditating and all these thoughts come running, rushing in. Things you have to do later in the day, maybe things you left unfinished at work, right? Maybe you have a busy family life, so stuff with your partner or your kids, right? We are constantly thinking about stuff, and when you go to sit down or lay down, whatever it is, to meditate, all that stuff is gonna rush in, right? Especially at the beginning, I don't know, maybe some people from the bed can kind of go into that state of not thinking, but it's very hard, right? So what I would recommend is kind of go into a room that's very quiet. Maybe turn off the lights. You don't want it to be bright and kind of get you energized. And sit and kind of close your eyes. A lot of people lay down. I've for the first, I don't know how many years, I think I laid down for to meditate, right? But you can sit up. A lot of people wanted to sit up, so like that energy can kind of flow through you this way, right, through all the chakras. But like I said, don't focus right away kind of like on all the details. Sit down, lay down, right, and close your eyes and try to be still. And like I said, things are going to come up. Certain things you have to do is going to come up. Sometimes don't put too much force on trying to not think about stuff, because you're still using a lot of force and you're focusing on it, right? So if a thought arises, right, just follow it. You can follow it and try to let it go. If it's possible, not follow it. But the key is to become self-aware enough that you're thinking, right? Because most of us every day are so deep in our thinking, in our ego mind, and just thoughts arise automatically, and you don't even are fully aware, consciously aware that you're thinking, right? So when you're meditating, the same thing. Try to catch yourself. Try to notice, your a stream of thoughts came in and you're following them, and like, oh wait, I'm following my thoughts. That's kind of like not what I'm supposed to be doing, not the purpose of this, and it takes a lot of practice, right? It's not going to happen overnight. The more you do it, the more often you do it, the longer you do it, you're going to be able to kind of sit down and pick up in that state a lot faster, right? But it takes a long time. It took me probably a couple years to kind of really get into it. And um, yeah, and like I said, try to find a place that's very quiet, comforting. A lot of people use different kind of scents even to meditate and stuff. And here I'm going to give a few very helpful, I believe, tips, right? If you have gone into meditation day after day and your mind is just running, try to do certain things before, right? Maybe go work out before, go on a walk before, do breath work before, right? All of those things will help you to relax. And when you're relaxed, right, you won't be as like kind of thinking about everything that you have to do. Your body won't be as jittery, right? So that if you can do those things, that is amazing, right? um, whenever I meditated and I have done, maybe breath work, or maybe you went for a little walk even around, around the block, around your house before, when you come back and you go and sit down, you're going to be in such a calm space, and then meditation, becomes a little easier. um, Also, there's different ways, right? um, a lot of people, if it's difficult and those thoughts are coming up and running through you rapidly, you can use a mantra, right? You can create your own mantra. You can find a mantra. There's different ways. And what a mantra does is, it's a little sentence, could be a word, could be a couple words, and something easy to remember, where you can repeat it without putting much effort, emphasis, or thought about it, right? Because that's the whole point. If you do, then you're kind of moving away from meditation. So something, let's say 3-word mantra or something, and you repeat it over and over, and eventually you stop thinking about it because it's very easy. So you go into that repetitive mode, and it takes your mind off of the other stuff. There's no space for the other stuff to arise, because you're constantly just saying that, in your mind or underneath your breath, whatever it may be. And it, like I said, it creates that separation, and keeps the mind busy enough not to think about other stuff. I think, like, one of the mantras I've used before, but I use different ones sometimes, where people say, I am not my body, I am not even the mind, right? And you repeat it over and over again, and eventually you will see, you kind of start to float away, right? The repetitive thoughts start to go away. A lot of people focus on their breath, right? So you just follow, like, inhale and exhale, and focus on that breath. And when you focus on the breath, just like that mantra, you take your attention away from the overthinking about other stuff, and you can relax, you can get centered. So there's a lot of ways, but honestly, I would use those tips before meditation. If you have time, I know we're all stretched for time. If you could do those tips before meditating, it will make the meditation session better, right? And always try to do it where you won't be interrupted. If there's people running into the room and out of the room, or on the floor above you, or whatever it may be, most likely you're going to be distracted. So find, like, a personal space. Maybe do it in the same space every day, so you kind of build up that relaxed state, and become familiar with it. And please don't get discouraged, okay? Please don't get discouraged. It may take a lot of time. Some people can meditate for a few weeks and get a good sense of it, and get into that state really fast. Others, it can take years, okay? So I hope this was helpful. Please comment, if you can, maybe some helpful tips you use to get relaxed and into that state, or certain types of meditations that you do, okay? Like I said, I want to help as many people as possible, but I also welcome helpful tips from you guys, where we can help each other, okay? So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.